everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be sharing my shopping strategies and styling hacks as to how to look expensive on a budget. You might assume that in order to look expensive you need to spend all of the dollars, but that's not always the case. And yes, while having an endless budget will mean that you can spend a lot of money on luxury, I don't have access to an endless budget, and I'm assuming that you don't as well, which is why you've probably clicked on this video. And the thing is, you can have all the money in the world and spend it on expensive stuff, but if you don't know how to style it, whether it suits you, if it doesn't fit you properly, then it's not going to look that great on you. And so in today's video, I'm going to be sharing all of my tips and tricks as to how to make the most of your wardrobe while at the same time looking classy, polished and expensive. So let's get started. My first tip is to take a less is more approach when it comes to colour. Monochromatic outfits or tonal outfits look instantly expensive. When it comes to monochromatic outfits, there's the classic all black. And there's also all navy, which is my preferred because I find that it's a lot softer. Tonal outfits, I really enjoy pairing sort of lighter shades like beiges, creams, camels and whites. In recent years, I've really pared back the colour in my wardrobe and I've relied quite heavily on neutrals, just because I found that I've been getting a lot more longevity out of my wardrobe and I'm finding it easier to put a lot of outfits together. And so when it comes to putting together a tonal outfit, I'll use the 3 colour rule as a strategy, and it looks more minimal but more polished, elevated and expensive. My next tip is to focus on fit. Things tend to look more expensive when they look like they were made for you. And contrary to popular belief, you don't have to shop designer to achieve this. If you understand your body and your proportions, you'll be able to shop in the high street and assess whether or not things fit you properly. So little things like jackets and shirts, like fitting you properly on the shoulders, pencil skirts or fitted skirts, whether they're puckering when you're wearing them around the waist and the hips, whether trousers are fitting you right at the waist and the hips too, whether they're skimming your body in the right parts. So all of those things that you sort of pick up and learn as you go along, they all make a difference to making you look more polished and elevated. And my next tip, which relates to my previous tip, is don't be afraid of the tailor. Now this is something that I've really come to embrace more in my 30s, and I really wish that I did it from the very start, but the tiniest tweaks make a world of difference. And so when I'm shopping on the high street, I'm petite, I'm 5'2", the clothes in those stores aren't made for my body shape. And so I will get my trousers hemmed, I will get the arms of my jackets and my coats all taken up. It's those little differences that give those pieces a more bespoke and custom look. And when it looks like it was made for you, then it looks so much more expensive. I appreciate that tailoring can be time consuming and a somewhat costly exercise, but I really feel like it is worthwhile for you getting the most out of your pieces. I've even gone to the trouble of getting items that I've bought from H&M and Zara tailored to fit me properly, and the tailoring costs are sometimes very close to or the same as the price that I paid for the item itself, but I really feel like it's a worthwhile investment and it just makes you look so much more expensive. My next tip is to prioritize premium fabrics and textures. So fabrics like cashmere or linen or silk, they always look more luxurious and they always appear to be more expensive than they actually are. A lot of high street retailers like H&M and Uniqlo and Zara, they actually do stock these premium fabrics too. They cost a little bit more than their polyester counterparts, but it means that you don't have to rely on designer or contemporary labels in order to get your fix. And when you're wearing those those textures, it instantly makes your look more premium. And because of the nature of the fabrics being derived from natural fibres, if you take care of them, they will last you for a really long time. And while they're a little bit more expensive, they're better return on investment and just make you look more polished and classy in the process. Now, if your budget provides for you to dabble in a little bit of luxury, then my next tip is to be strategic with the pieces that you choose to add. So for me personally, I think that handbags and shoes get a lot more airtime in comparison to, say, ready-to-wear clothes or high-end designer clothing. To me, high-end designer clothing is next level, and I'm still sort of dabbling in the handbag realm, and I don't know whether I will ever progress to the ready-to-wear high-end designer clothing world. I find that when you're wearing a designer handbag or a designer pair of shoes, you can sort of trick everyone to thinking that the rest of your outfit is following suit, when really you're just mixing high-end with high street and being strategic with the items that you're choosing to invest in. Similarly, when it comes to clothing, you should be strategic in the items that you choose to invest in. So for me personally, blazers and shirts come to mind. I'll always spend a little bit more money when it comes to those pieces. And in those cases, I find that your dollar really does go further. And that's not to say that you need to rely on high-end designer. I've already established that I don't dabble in high-end designer clothing. What I will do though is I will turn to sort of premium and contemporary labels, because I find that they still offer a really luxe and premium finish at a slightly higher price, but those pieces are made to last. So let's use the example of a blazer, because that's an easy one to illustrate. So a premium or contemporary label will take into account all of those little details, such as the lining of the jacket, that there'll be a proper vent at the back of the jacket, that there will likely be buttons at the cuffs, that the jacket will be cut to a tailored or classic fit because there's less focused on sort of trend cuts. Okay, so it's all those little details that you need to elevate your outfit and make you look a little bit more expensive. Okay, and my next tip is when it comes to accessorizing, keep it simple. My styling hacks when it comes to accessorizing are really quite basic. I love elevating my outfits with a belt. I find that it just makes me look a little bit more put together. And when it comes to jewelry, I'll rely mostly on the sentimental pieces that I wear. So like my wedding rings and the necklace from my husband. But I do have a rotation of some really simple pieces that add a little bit of interest to my outfit. And I find it's those little details that just work together to make you look more chic and put together. When it comes to shoes, this is an area where it pays to invest, because you're going to get good return if you pick strategically. Versatile items like loafers, ballet flats and pointed pumps instantly add a bit of polish and expense to your outfit, and it's no secret that shoes can either make or break an outfit. And so when you're shopping for shoes, you don't have to go for high-end designer, but you should prioritize good quality shoes that are designed to last. Now, I really like playing around with texture when it comes to my footwear, and what's springing to mind is suede. I have a fair few suede pumps because I find that they add a lot of interest and polish to my outfits. Last tip relates to grooming, and I'm going to wax lyrical about this, but it's because it's the theme of this video, and that is less is more. So when it comes to my makeup, I keep things pretty natural in that department and quite pared back, and same with my hair. I don't do too many crazy things with it, and that's probably because I don't know how to style my hair very well, but it's either down or in a bun. But I find that keeping things simple and neat and tidy just makes you look more expensive and polished in the process. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that my shopping strategies and styling hacks were helpful. And of course, if you have any questions, then feel free to leave them in the comments section below. If you like what I do here, then I'd love it if you could support me by subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!